Have you ever gotten tripped up trying to multiply or divide negative numbers? Yeah, it can seem kind of complicated. But what if I told you there's just one single rule that makes it all click into place? Well, let's unlock it together. So let's kick things off with a little real-world puzzle. Imagine the temperature is dropping 3 degrees an hour, and it does that for 4 hours straight. What's the total change? To figure this out, you've got to understand signed numbers. You know, whether we're talking about temperature dropping, money going in or out of your bank account, or even your elevation when you're on a hike, these are all about positive and negative whole numbers. In math, we just have a fancy name for them, integers, and getting how they work is the key to everything.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. You're probably expecting this long, complicated list of rules you have to memorize. But what if I told you there's only one core idea you need to get? Just one rule that works for both multiplication and division. This is your new secret weapon.
And here it is, the golden rule. If the signs of the numbers are the same, so 2 positives or 2 negatives, the answer is always positive. And if the signs are different, 1 positive, 1 negative, the answer is always negative. That's it. Seriously. Let's see it in action. First up, multiplication. Let's take our one rule and see how it makes every single problem totally predictable and, honestly, pretty easy to solve. Okay, so check this out. A positive times a positive, well, the signs are the same, so the result is positive. We all know 3 times 4 is 12, but look at this next one. A negative times a negative, the signs are still the same, right? Which means the result is also positive. -3 times -4 is positive 12. I know that can feel a little weird, but think of multiplying by a negative as doing the opposite. So multiplying -3 by -4 is like saying, do the opposite of taking away 3 4 times. You actually flip all the way back to a positive. And for the last two, it's simple. The signs are different, so the result is always negative. It's just that consistent. So yeah, this just hammers home that first part of our rule. It doesn't matter if it's positive times positive or negative times negative, the answer is going to be positive. The big takeaway here is, don't let 2 negatives trick you. They actually team up to make a positive. All right, so multiplication is officially mastered. So, what about division? Are you bracing for a whole new set of confusing rules to learn? I mean, do we need a completely different cheat sheet for this? Do we have to memorize a bunch of new stuff? No way! And this is the best part. The exact same rule we just used for multiplication applies perfectly to division. Same signs, you get a positive answer. Different signs, you get a negative answer. You already know how to do this. And if you're wondering why it's the same rule, the reason is actually pretty cool and simple. Division is what we call the inverse of multiplication. That's just a mathy way of saying they undo each other. Think about it. We know 3 times 4 is 12, right? So it has to be true that 12 divided by 4 gets you right back to 3. They're perfectly connected, so it makes total sense they follow the exact same rules for signs. And here's the proof. Look at how this table is basically a mirror image of the multiplication one. Positive 12 divided by positive 3? The signs are the same, so we get a positive result. Negative 12 divided by negative 3. Hey, the signs are the same again, so the answer is positive 4. And just like before, whenever the signs are different, the answer is always going to be negative. See? The rule just works every single time. Okay, so you've got the main rule down. That's going to cover like 99% of all the problems you'll ever see. But let's quickly cover 3 special little cases in division that are really important to remember. Think of them as your pro tips. This one is huge. It's like the #1 rule of Math Fight Club. You cannot, ever, divide a number by 0. The answer isn't 0, it's something mathematicians call undefined. It's an operation that just doesn't work in our system of math, so just burn this one into your brain. All right, here's a super handy shortcut. Anytime you divide a number by -1, all you have to do is flip its sign. So positive 9 divided by -1 becomes -9. And if you add a -9 divided by -1, it would just flip right back to positive 9. It's simple and it's fast. And for our last tip, any number divided by itself always equals 1. And hey, notice how our big rule still works perfectly here? In the example, -8 divided by -8, the signs are the same, so the answer has to be a positive 1. See? It all connects. Okay, you are armed and ready.
You've got the one powerful rule, you've got the pro tips. Let's circle all the way back to that temperature problem from the beginning and solve it for good. Let's break this down step by step. So step 1, a drop of 3 degrees, that's a -3. And it happens for 4 hours, which is a +4. Step 2, let's apply our rule. We have a negative number and a positive number, so the signs are different. Step 3, that means our result has to be negative. We multiply 3 by 4, which is 12, and because we know the signs were different, we know the final answer is -12. And there it is. The total change in temperature over those 4 hours is a drop of 12 degrees. We didn't just guess. We used our one simple rule to find the exact correct answer. See how easy that was? So let's do a super quick recap. The most important thing to remember is there's just one rule for both multiplying and dividing these numbers. If the signs are the same, your result is positive. If the signs are different, your result is negative. And of course, the #1 rule in Division Club, you never, ever divide by 0. With this one simple rule, a whole area of math just got a lot easier for you. So my final question is this. Now that you know the rule, where are you going to see it at work? Is it in your personal finances? In sports statistics? Maybe in a science project? Keep an eye out for it. You'll be surprised how often it shows up. Thanks for joining me.